What's up? What's up? Here, what's up, BK with Kalila Morris, the author of Afeen's Family. How
What's
are
up,
you today?
BK?
Hey,
I'm Kalila Morris, like you said, author of Afeen's Family. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. You know,
Yes.
I've read parts of your book, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
loving it. I'm loving it. First I'll tell people what this show is pretty much about. You know, it's what's up, what's up. We're trying to see what people are up to in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And we had to put this thing out there so people can see what it's about. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about it. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
About me? Well,
Yes.
I'm Kalila, as you know.
Yes.
I'm from Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, there we go. South
right.
side,
South
south side. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am born and raised there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a single mother
All right.
to a daughter at this time. She's 15.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
You don't look much older yourself.
Well, thank you very much, 18, I'll take 18.
All right, 18. There you go.
But I was inspired because there was just so much healing that I needed for myself, and I knew that other people needed the same healing. You know, dealing with trauma from your past. I'm sure all of us have had family members that went through drug addiction. So I just said, you know what? Maybe if I share my story, I get some healing for myself and help someone else with theirs too.
Wow, that's what's up. That's
Yeah.
deep. Yeah, I tell you, it's funny because I think everybody has a similar experience.
Yes.
As far as the things that affected them in their childhood, especially when it comes to drug addiction, and not necessarily dealing with it yourself, but having family members and friends and how it affects everybody involved. Tell them more about the book. I mean, I can't explain it the way you do, but I'm
Right.
gonna tell you, when I picked it up, I couldn't put it back down.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know how everyone always see drug addicts running around in the street and like, oh, wow, they look bad. They look like this, they look like that. But they also have a backstory.
Yes.
You
yes.
know, they wasn't always addicted to drugs.
That's right.
So, in Afeen's family, you get the side of the person that's on drugs and the family side that's dealing with them being on drugs. Because not only do the drug addict needs help, but the family that's dealing with the drug addict needs help too,
That is true.
So it goes with Vanessa, which is the main character, how she was brilliant. She had a great family, everything going for herself. She met this guy and tore her world upside down.
Wow.
She lost her family, house, car, her everything, her soul,
Wow.
for drugs.
How many
And
of
then
you guys
you have
can
the
relate to
family,
that?
right? And then her
Yeah.
family that's like, okay, what are we going to do with this? So there's so much drama going on because of Vanessa and her drama. So they have to deal with everything going on around her. Their
Wow.
life is basically whatever Vanessa does, that's how they make their next move.
So at this point, nobody's really enjoying their own lives because everybody's consumed by Vanessa and her problems.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. So that's the basis of the story. And then she has a son.
And how old
he's
is the son?
He's about 6 or 7.
6 is wow, that's
Yeah.
young. That's young to be experiencing these type of things.
Yeah. So he doesn't understand. He just knows that he see his mom one day, he doesn't see his mom the next day.
Wow.
But his aunt is there taking care of him majority of the time.
So the kid kind of feels alone, confused, not really knowing what to make of this kind of unusual.
Abandonment, right.
Yeah. Got
Right. Yeah, because he is being abandoned by his mom.
it. Yeah.
So he just doesn't realize it at the time. You
Got
know?
it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's hard, too, for the rest of the family to understand because I came from an era where, in the beginning of the crack era, so I've seen people's mothers and fathers and everybody else long before they ever thought about crack.
Right.
And they were successful, hardworking, they had property, they had goals, they had dreams, they had everything in front of them.
Yes.
And overnight, what seemed like a party drug, you didn't actually see a crackhead until a few years later.
Yes.
You know? And it was kind of strange because now here it is where people are looking down on these people, but you knew them before then.
Yes.
And, you know, the personal relationship or the respect you have for these people went above and beyond the drug. Where people that came along that didn't know them before the drug just saw a crackhead.
Yes.
You
and
know?
that's basically everything you said describes Afeen's family.
Yeah. And I can imagine the child because he has to wonder why everybody's looking at his mother as a crackhead.
Right.
Without really knowing what a
That she's
crackhead is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so,
crazy.
You know, I said, you know, there were some things that happened, you know, and I said, let me get this hurt off of me, you know? So I wrote about it. Some true, some not true.
Got
You just
it.
have to read it and imagine what part is which, you know?
There you go.
But it's definitely a good read. It was, well, I could say the crack era was big in the late 80s and early 90s.
Definitely.
So everybody can definitely relate to everything that happened.
Yeah, and you know, like a lot of the young people today, they have no idea how devastating it was. You know, they might get their
Correct.
little quick fix and the crackhead goes in their little corner, and then you only see them when it's time to make a sale or you see them running around in the street.
Yes.
But there was a time when they were everywhere. There
Yes.
was crackheads and dope fiends. It was almost like zombie land. Like
Yes.
you looked out the house, it was
Yes.
everywhere. It was everywhere, and you know, if you didn't live through that period, you can't really relate because it was totally different.
It was.
You know, and back at a time when the community still stayed together as a family. Like everybody looked out for one another, but at the same time, the people that used to look out for you are now crackheads. You know,
Yeah.
so now you got to worry about
Yeah.
them, and you know, second
Your
guess a lot.
community.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It was very devastating.
It was.
And thank God you made it through, and I'm still here. And
Right.
you know, but listen, tell us more about how difficult was it for you to write it, and how long did it take for you to write it, and how long did it take for you to put this project out?
Well, I started writing this project in 2006.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's a very long time.
That's a long
It
time.
is. So I was home on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I just started jotting down some things. And I said, why am I still thinking about this particular event that happened in my life? You know? So I said, okay. I started jotting down some more. I kept a journal of it, jotted down day in, day out. And then before I knew it, I had different chapters,
Wow.
you know? And I'm not going to say that I was a crackhead. No.
You definitely don't look like
I
it.
wasn't a crackhead.
Don't look like the thought ever crossed your mind.
But of course, like I said, we all had family members that was addicted to drugs.
Indeed, because I
So-
sure have my share of family members.
So there were things that were seen, things that were said, actions that took place, you know, people that was involved indirectly now are involved directly.
Definitely.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna make this into a book. But then of course, I was a new mom. I was married at the time, working, trying to juggle life. Stopped the project.
Wow.
Went back to the project, I would say in 2016, and revamped it.
10 years. That's a long time. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm glad you stuck with it because
Yeah.
that's difficult. Most people drop things and that's it.
Exactly.
They never pick it back up.
Exactly. So then I revamped it. Now I'm divorced
Okay.
and still working, being the best mom I can be.
That's what's up.
And I said, you know what?
Because that's not easy.
Thank
either.
you.
That's a
Exactly.
job all by itself.
Definitely. So I said, you know what? I need to complete this project and show my daughter that just because you start something and put it down, that doesn't mean that you don't go back to it.
That's right. That's right. And that's difficult to do. So it's amazing that you were able to do it, and that you're inspiring her to do the same. Like, continue to follow your dreams.
Continue to follow your dreams. Exactly. So that's what I did. So I've been home. I had surgery a few months back because I got injured at work. And I said, you know what? While I'm home, I'm going to utilize my time. And I'm going to put my story out because it still bothers me to this day, some of the things that happened. So I said, okay, let's get this out. So I started writing and trying to publish the book on my own, and I was having difficulties. So I reached out to my cousin, Lady Ty.
Shout out to Lady Ty.
Lady Ty, she's part of the Greats, which I am a part of also, the Greats. And she helped guide me through the process. Because I started it, I got in the middle, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I was like, okay, I'm stuck. So, you know, once I spoke to her, joined this great team of ladies, and it's all authors. It's about 20 of us, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm learning something new here.
Yeah. So they're all published authors.
Impressive.
And we all collaborate together. We just had a retreat last weekend in Georgia.
Wow. You want to share a little bit?
Sure. What can I say about the Greats besides them all being great? There was a chef that came there. We did nothing but work. Whatever you started, we helped motivate each other to finish. I had some things that I was like, okay, I'm scared to do, like public speaking. You know, they pushed me and helped motivate me so I can be here today to speak with you.
Wow.
And be here at What's Up, BK. You know?
And I just want to pause for 1 second, because when we first met, right, to talk about her book, and we went through the little interview.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said to me was, you know, I'm shy. I don't know if I can do an interview. And I'm like, well, you should have thought about that before you wrote a book, because you're going to have to tell your story.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I told her a little bit about, you know, my shy side, which I had to overcome, you know, and look at me now. I'm still sweating. I'm a little nervous, but it's my first time. It's not what I do.
Right.
But, you know, right now we're encouraging each other, like the ladies at the retreat encouraged her to move forward. And, you know, I can, you know, listen, I'm just happy for you that you are where you are with your project. And that you're able to push it forward with all of the obstacles that you have in your way.
Yes.
And look at you. I don't see no sign of fear or shyness at all.
Well, you're helping me. Trust me.
Listen, you're helping me right now. You're making this interview easy. This is my first, and I couldn't do it without her, to be honest with you. So.
And same here.
Yeah,
So the book is available on Amazon, Apple Books, Google Books, Barnes & Nobles. So it's all over.
Wow.
You know?
So look, anybody that want to check it out, tell them one more time.
Amazon, Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes & Nobles.
And I want to ask you something, right?
Sure.
Now that you have your book out, right? And you're getting feedback. I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it definitely touched me.
Right.
You want to share some of the feedback you've been getting with the books, as far as people that have already read it and got back to you?
Yeah, one person that hit me up like 8:30 in the morning. It was like, why is your book so sad?
I didn't get to the sad part yet, but it is, I mean.
For him, it was sad, you know? And I was like, why? He was like, her life is just devastating, you know? That was one. Another one was
Let me ask you something. I don't know if you were able to ask that person, but did he experience any of that? Did he have anybody close to him on drugs? Was he affected by the family?
That I'm not sure of.
Yeah, probably not. Because, I mean, it still would be sad, but you can relate.
You can relate.
Yeah, because, you know, so I get it. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Someone else is like, well, I was on drugs, you know, and I didn't experience all of these things. I said, well, different strokes for different folks, you know. Definitely. Your trauma wasn't Vanessa's trauma in the book, you know. Yeah. But mostly people go through the things that Vanessa's been through, so that's why I was able to present her in the light that I did.
Well, definitely. And I can say that, through my personal experience, I've seen people who got on drugs for, 2 years, 5 years, got over it. You look at them, you'll never know that they were on drugs.
Right.
I know some people that's still struggling.
Yes.
Back and forth. Sometimes they're sober, sometimes they're not. I know people that was on drugs for 20 years and got their stuff together. And if you didn't know their story, you couldn't tell they were ever on drugs.
Right.
So I get it, because different people have a different level of support system.
Yes. Yes.
They have different moving parts within their family. Now, it might be multiple people on drugs. Now you got a crack family. Which is a little different. You might have people selling drugs, and it might be just a whole different world. Because if you come from that type of family structure, there's nobody really motivating you to get off drugs. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you come from a family with a solid structure, and basic morals, then of course everybody's gonna try their best to sacrifice themselves to help you get off of it. And it's very difficult if you haven't been on drugs, because you can't relate like that guy. How could somebody have something such a strong hold on them that they can't just break when you're losing your family, your child,
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, so it's not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, and everybody can't relate.
Right.
But you're sharing a story from your experience to let people know that it does exist. These things do happen. There's people that's still dealing with it. And this was, 15 years when she started to write the book. And I'm sure she experienced these things long before that.
Long before, yeah.
So it's still affecting her.
Yeah.
So
that's why I wanted to make sure that I got something out there so that maybe it can help somebody else in the long run, And just because you're addicted to drugs doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
Of course not.
You just went in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Yeah. And I think it's funny you said, wrong direction, because I don't think any of them sought out to be a crackhead or a dope fiend or whatever type of drug addict. They figured, I can handle it. Let me try it once. And bam, point of no return. Yeah, and it was that simple.
Yeah, it really was.
And then unfortunately, your family becomes in the background, and your new crack friends become in the forefront of your life. And it's, I've seen it. I've heard a million stories, and there's parts I can't understand from where I stood, but I know it exists, and I've seen it. But to this day, I don't know how it feels to be so hooked on something that you can watch your whole family, fall apart or struggle or leave them behind to just chase that high.
But you see, that's the whole thing. They're caught up in the smoke.
Exactly. There you go. It's caught up in the smoke.
When you're caught up in the smoke,
I like that.
You can't see it.
That's right.
You can't see the family that you're leaving behind. Your mind is clouded.
That is true. I like how she said that.
Yeah.
That's true. I tell you, this is you made it very easy for me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because honestly, I was a little nervous myself. I was talking to you about being nervous, but I was nervous. Like, all right, can I do this? Can I, So listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's just the beginning.
Right.
For my journey here, it's the beginning with her journey as far as the book.
Yes.
And I personally think that, it's good for not only us, but people that are watching, to encourage them. Don't be afraid of what you're trying to do. Don't let the things that you want to accomplish set you back as far as discouraging you from going forward with the things you want to do, whether it's business, whether it's, art, no matter what it is.
Yes.
You just got to chase your dreams.
Chase your dreams, because you have to be able to express yourself.
That's right.
It helps you mentally.
Yes.
To be able to express yourself. So don't hold back. Follow your dreams. Be encouraged.
Yeah, and stay encouraged, because guess what? There's always going to be challenges ahead, and I'm sure you've had them. I definitely had them.
Absolutely.
But you got to keep on pushing.
That's it.
Get your head out the cloud. I like that. So this is just the beginning. So far it's been great.
Yep.
So, Khalila.
Yes.
Tell us, what's next for Afeen's family. And what's next for you?
Well, Afeen's family is going to leave you in mystery. That I can definitely say. You know, we're going to pray and hope for the best for the Stokes family. So if you want more details, you have to get the book.
Gotta get the book. Got to get the book. And I guarantee you won't put it down.
Right. It's available on paperback and ebook at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Google Books, Apple Books. Oh, and Lulu Bookstore if you guys are not aware of it. So it's on Lulu Books. I'm always on Instagram at Afeen Family 1. And you can also hit me up on Facebook at Afeen's Family 1 and my website, afeenfam.com. So I'm here, I'm around. Contact me at Afeen's Fam, AFEEN_S, FAM.
Afeen's family. Got to get the book.
Got to get the book.
That's what's up. So yes. I'll tell you, this has been a pleasure. I mean, she made my job a lot easier, like I mentioned before. And besides the book, what's new? Do you have any more books in mind in the future? Do you have other endeavors that you want to get into, or you know, what's next? Just give them an idea of where you're going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right now I'm working on my next project.
Wow, is that project a book or is it something?
It's also a book.
Oh, it's a
Push Through, coming to you soon. So that's what's in the works as of right now.
That's what's up.
Right now I'm just pushing and promoting Afeen's family, but Push Through is definitely on its way. That's
what's up. And listen, I want all of y'all to know that, listen, we got to not only, I know everybody's trying to do their own thing these days, and I encourage everybody to do so. But we got to stand by each other. We got to support one another. Yes. And we got to give each other our praise while we are here. Because this girl has worked hard to do what she's done when most of us make excuses of why we can't get nothing done. And she's already looking to the future to take it even further. So listen, let's push it and let's keep it going. Keep our heads out of the cloud of smoke. So we can focus on what we have to do. And is there anything else you want to add?
Just help support black businesses. You know, there's plenty of us out here that's struggling, trying to get our names out there. Support, support, support. I want to thank you, Derek, for this opportunity.
And I
appreciate it.
I want to thank you for taking us up on this platform to be the first of many. And again, we just started something. This is. I feel good. I'm even motivated about the next one.
Right.
You know, the next show, the next book, the next everything. So, thanks again. And
good night, Brooklyn.
Good night. Peace out.